So, welcome to our first episode of the Members Podcast. We are so excited to have you, Amy.
Thank you.
So, for the podcast, we really want to get to know our members and uplift them in the community so everyone here and outside of your third base can know who's in the building.
Great.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Amy Straub, and I've lived in Maplewood, South Orange for 8 years, and I own a small business here that specializes in the design and installation of custom storage spaces. So think closets and pantries and built-ins and organizing daily life so we can be more functional and more efficient, and our houses can be more beautiful and flow and all of those things.
That's amazing. How long have you been doing that?
So I have been a designer for over 20 years. And one of the things that I found when I was doing design, I would go to installations and I would see my designs brought to life, and I would want to tweak things, or I would see things that weren't just exactly as I wanted them. And when I moved to Maplewood, someone asked me to do a design and we needed someone to install it. And so who better to do that? So I gave it a shot and I did it. And then I thought, okay, this is the last one. And then someone else asked me to do another one, and I did another one. And before I knew it, I was also installing my designs, which brings a whole other level to what I do. It makes me a better designer, but it also makes me a better installer because I know everything. I know every single dimension so well. It's such a privilege to be invited into someone's home, and especially I'm in people's bedrooms quite a bit. So that's a really personal, intimate place for them, and to be trusted with being brought in. I mean, to get to hear part of people's stories, meet their families, and see cool things from their travels and pictures on the walls and those types of things. It's really a cool job.
So, you have an office here with us at your third base.
I do.
What made you choose to come work here?
Well, I have a shop in Maplewood. It's a shop in the sense that it's dirty and dusty. It has my table saw and a lot of my tools, and we keep a lot of inventory there and do a lot of cutting there. So it's amazing for that and for the installation side of my business. But there's a lot of work that goes into the front end of my business and meeting with clients. Once I've done that, I spend a lot of time designing, and I spend a lot of time putting together plans. And so it's not as conducive to that environment with all the dust and the dirt and whatever.
Right.
So I had heard about your third base, and I came in, and it's perfect. I have little distraction in my personal office, but I get to interact with the people who work here, all of which have a diverse set of skills and stories themselves. And then I have a place to meet with my professional partners, and I can use the conference rooms for that. Jay out front is such a friendly face. When I get I have my favorite coffee and my kind bar that I get for lunch, usually every day. And so I find I really miss it when I'm out on site and I don't get to pop in. I really miss my time here. So it's really amazing space, and it's so great to kind of feel like you're in the middle of the Maplewood community.
So, if you had any advice to give to other business owners, what would it be?
I've lived in a lot of different states. I've lived in 8 states and a lot of different communities. And speaking from the perspective of being a small business owner, I can't think of a better place to start a small business and to have the support to help it thrive, and to have resources like this that help increase the amount of professionalism in what I'm doing, help me with the resources that, I have so many things available to me here in terms of amenities that just help increase. But also, what we're doing here and talking and networking and getting the word out by social media. I mean, this is an incredibly supportive community as a woman-owned business and as kind of a non-traditional woman-owned business, in the sense that I'm also installing, and there aren't many women doing that.
Right.
This community has been incredibly supportive, and I am so, so grateful. And every time I get a little nervous or a little exhausted or whatever it might be, I kind of I see someone post something, I see someone on the street, and they're so encouraging, and it really makes me want to succeed and makes me very, very happy to be part of the community.
Yes, and we definitely want to continue that support. So where can people find you online? Is there a website?
Absolutely. So they can find me on Instagram at Amy_Straub_design. And you can find me at astraubdesign.com.
Great. So we'll make sure that Amy is tagged in the post. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for joining us,
Thank
Amy.
you.
This episode of Meet Our Members was filmed in the Your Third Base podcast studio in Maplewood. To learn more about our offerings, including our private offices, dedicated desks, and bookable spaces like the podcast room, please visit yourthirdbase.com. Thank you again to our member Amy for joining us this week, and stay tuned for more episodes coming soon.